Guys, today I wanted to talk to you about something really interesting, and that is, what could Margaret Thatcher taught us as a marketer? Well, she wasn't a marketer. Well, I suppose she might have been, as all politicians are. I'm not going to get into whether she was good or bad. I'm not going to get into politics at all, as I never do on these broadcasts. So I'm not going to tell you what I think about Margaret Thatcher myself. But one thing that I wanted to talk to you about today is marketing. Hey there, boys and girls, how you doing? Dan Ashendorf here from a beautiful Watford. It's just 18 degrees. We've just come back from a car boot sale. I'm going to be shooting a video about this in a couple of days' time. What we did is we've tried to get a couple of bits and then list them. We went out with the kids just to kind of teach them how to flip stuff online, and I've got no idea how they're going to sell. I'm just trying a new path here today, by the way, brand new. I've got no idea what that's going to lead to. You just see the fields behind me there. We're just gonna go down the way, and hopefully it's not going to be a dead end or anything like this. So I'm just kind of looking around to see where the heck I am. There's a few little paths just down there as well. You can see dog paths or some animal path. I don't know. They used to have cows and bulls here and all sorts. They're all gone now. But going back to business, so Margaret Thatcher, I saw a documentary on the BBC, and it's a 4-part documentary. I've only watched the first part, and really interesting. She was a character that was really divisive in this country. On the one hand, people think she was absolutely brilliant. She's liberalised everything. She was selling off council houses. So these are basically buildings or houses that the government built up for less well-to-do people, and she was selling them off, and she was privatising, she was liberalising. She went out and fought in the Falklands against the Argentinians, so she was pretty kind of strong in that respect. But on the other hand, she's being vilified because she was breaking up the trade unions. People think that she was all bad, basically. There was a drop in the standard of life, unemployment shot up because she liberalised things. It just means that the kind of jobs and industries were quite protected before they stopped being protected because of the reforms that she did. So this program that I saw on TV, so what they said was that she was one of the few politicians, or certainly one of the few prime ministers of this country, and possibly around the world, the Western elected world. You know, this is people who need to be elected. And she was one of the few ones who didn't care about being loved. So she didn't really care about public opinion. Of course, she wanted to be re-elected, but she didn't really care about what people thought of her. And that's what I wanted to talk to you about today, because I think that's one of the key ingredients that we need to have in order to succeed online. And I think this is where people fail. And I want to give you 3 examples here. The first one is social media. So we go out, we create content, post videos, and no one likes them. There's no thumbs up, there's no views. We put stuff on Instagram, no engagement, and we think, wow, that makes me look like a complete failure. And what are people going to be thinking about me? Are they going to think I'm not popular? Because that's the thing, isn't it, about social media? It's a bit like being back at school, isn't it? It's kind of how popular you are, how many likes you get, how many comments, how many loves, all that sort of stuff. Same everywhere, same with TikTok, same with YouTube. It's all the same, isn't it? And that's kind of one hindrance that people have from actually creating content and then posting it. They are just afraid of what other people are going to be saying about them, what the public perception is going to be about them. And because of that, they just don't take action. And that's one thing. The other thing I was thinking about the other day was launching. So launching product on Warrior Plus and JV Zoo, you get a very well-defined, very visible league table. You can actually see how well you do, how many sales you had, what conversions you've had. And again, it's a bit like a popularity contest, in as much as if people don't promote you, you kind of look a bit sad, you know, you don't have a lot of sales. I don't know, there's all sorts of kind of things that you can really take personally. So that's another type of worry, concern, fear that people have when they consider doing something, anything online. And the last example I want to give you is what I was just doing this morning, which is to go out and list stuff. So I'm going to publicly show what I've listed, and I might not get anything for it. I mean, I might fail miserably, and it's not going to be pleasant. You know, my kids are seeing it. We all went out as a family, so not the ideal situation. I want to be successful. I want to show to everyone that I know what I'm doing. I mean, I have to say, and I'm coming up with an excuse already. We sort of came through that car boot sale right right at the tail end, and so I'm not really sure there was any bargains to be had. We only got a couple of little things. We got a phone, which is probably not what we thought it was, like an old kind of retro phone, and we got a coffee maker from Boots, so time will tell. But anyway, the point I am making here is that there is a little bit of, when you go public, there is always going to be a little bit of pressure to perform, and I think that is something that is really putting people off from taking action, which is frankly a real shame. Now I'm going to get to the point I was actually going to talk to you about, which is Margaret Thatcher, the fact that she didn't really care about being loved, and I think that's a remarkably good thing to do in any endeavor. So as a politician, for example, if you don't really care about being loved, I mean, you want to be re-elected, but you are more concerned about doing the right thing. So you are doing the right thing, not because you want people to be patting you on the back when you go down the pub, or you want to leave a legacy of being the good person, but you're sort of taking short-term pain for long-term gain. And again, it's not a political broadcast about Thatcher. I'm not going to get into that, but just that little caption about not wanting to be loved, that really chimed, that really resonated with me. And I want to go one level deeper with this, and I'm going to refer back to something that Gary V was saying, and that is the fact that failure is your best friend as an entrepreneur. And I want to give you an example. It's a hypothetical example, but if any of the three things that I've mentioned before, the social media tanks, your launch tanks, your endeavor trying to sell stuff online, or whatever it is you're doing, is tanking, actually having that sort of thing, even enjoying it, even at the time looking at it as a real opportunity to grow, and just thinking, well, you know, screw you. I mean, I'm out there, I'm fighting. You don't like it? Screw you. Go to someone else. I don't care. I'm here to make a difference. I'm here to feed my family. I don't care what you think. In fact, if you think badly of me, that's even better, because that's going to make me stronger. When I'm stronger, I can do pretty much anything. So bring it on. Bring it on. And I think that's a really good way to look at life and business. I think that kind of toughness, it's called mental toughness, isn't it? And there's a whole bunch of types. I mean, there is the physical style when you go in the military and you got to run, 10 miles with a stretcher on your shoulder. You need to be mentally tough for that. We're not looking at that kind of mental toughness. We are looking at this public humiliation, this public visibility type of toughness. And if you can withstand that, if you can thrive with that, if you can even enjoy it and see it as a bit of a game, life's short, and what is it all about? It's about being out there and really trying and really socking it to life, really trying hard and not giving a damn about public humiliation or what others think or whatever it is that's going on in their heads. It's most likely very true that they wouldn't even see it, they wouldn't care about it. But even if they did, it's got its own virtue, its own merit of actually being able to withstand it and even enjoying it to a degree. I think that's the ultimate strength of character. And that's really what I wanted to tell you guys today. I mean, if you go back to Thatcher, I mean, she was doing what she felt was the right thing. She was liberalizing things. She was doing things that were deeply unpopular. She was vilified. She had works. There was a whole bunch of sketches about her on TV, and she was just completely ridiculed and vilified. But she was doing what she felt was the right thing. So lover or hater, that specific character of hers was pretty much what it is that you must have as a marketer if you are going to succeed. Because let me tell you this, guys, it ain't going to be plain sailing. So if you look at social media, you look at people's launches, stats, anything like that, it looks very kind of one-dimensionally linear up the way. But it's not. It's hard. Sometimes it's up, sometimes it's down. 99 out of 100 people aren't going to make it the first go. So they have to go through that phase of being publicly humiliated, like really taking it. And unless you can sustain that sort of pressure, unless you can really enjoy it, you don't care, you got thick skin, you're in there to win it, you ain't gonna succeed. You ain't gonna get on to the next stage. So that's what I wanted to tell you today, guys. I don't know how you can get into that sort of mindset. I mean, if what I just said resonated with you, but you're looking for some technique about how to actually get to that sort of mindset, I think you just need to want it enough, and you need to be sticking with it, and you need to realize that that is a really important character that you need to have. But either way, I am convinced that unless you manage to figure this out, you aren't going to go very far. So with that said, I'm Dan Ashendorf signing out from a beautifully sunny Watford, and we did seem to have made it somewhere that I can recognize, somewhere visible. There's a bit of forest here around me. There's no bears or wolves or anything dangerous, just some forest land. I love it, as you know, from having probably watched me hopefully a couple of sessions by now. So you know that I'm a great fan of being in the great outdoors and having a chat, and hopefully you've enjoyed this little chat as well, and hopefully you've taken a couple of takeaways as well from what I was saying, because trust me guys, that stuff is absolutely key. You have to master that thing, and I wish you all the best. So with that said, Dan Ashendorf signing out. Have a great day. Bye bye.